Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope you are green. I hope you're making a lot of money. For me personally, the public account is now at $600,000. Shout out to myself and earning those gains. I hope you guys are earning your gains and making a lot of green, a lot of tendies, because the Federal Reserve just openly announced, welcome to the mother effing bull run of 2024. No longer are we going to be raising rates. We are now going to be rate cutting in 2024. This brings an entire new dynamic to the entire stock market and both retail and institutional investing. As the Fed is going to lower rates, this is going to make it easier and cheaper for regular people, myself, yourself, and retail investors to borrow money, to get easy, cheap money, to have margin. And by no means am I telling you to take out margin. By no means am I telling you anything. This is not financial advice. This is purely entertainment and education. I almost got smoked on margin, but there's going to be a shit ton of people that are going to be using margin. Now, when people take out margin and they have easy access to margin and the Federal Reserve is going to start cutting rates, that means that your percentage that you're paying to borrow the money goes down. People are going to start investing that money. A lot of that investment is going to go to companies that are extremely popular. And one of the most popular stocks, if not the most popular stock right now, thankfully for the Palantir community, is actually Palantir. And one of, if not the most prominent sectors that you can invest in, the most prominent thing you can invest in right now, maybe crypto is on par right now, but it's definitely between crypto and artificial intelligence. And Palantir, being such a widely known stock in a widely known sector that's absolutely taking off in artificial intelligence, well, you have a beautiful mixture right here of luck and timing, right? And this is when you could make real tendies, when you can make real green. Palantir currently is trading right around that $18 and change mark. I'm going to show you a chart in just a moment. And what I want to say is that while everyone is focusing on artificial intelligence, I think we got to understand and dumb it down that Palantir, yes, artificial intelligence, but artificial intelligence is in many different sectors and subsectors. Around 2 years ago, when I started covering Palantir, there was around 20 sectors and subsectors on their website. I made several videos on this. Throughout the several years of covering Palantir, all of a sudden you start noticing that they are adding more sectors and they are adding more subsectors within those sectors and different categories. So not only are they working with one government agency, they're working with a branch of that government agency and maybe a little known branch of that government agency, so on and so forth. They keep expanding. It is extremely diverse. Palantir is an extremely diverse and essentially a jack of all trades when it comes to being a company. It is literally for everybody and for anybody. You see, Palantir closed several partnerships, and we're waiting a huge announcement tomorrow for the Army Vantage contract. This is a $458 million contract that we won 4 years ago, and it's about to be renewed. We don't know if it's going to be renewed with us. We don't know how much it's going to be renewed for. We don't know the length of the renewal, but it's definitely going to be a major announcement. Now, Palantir has some major things going on in 2024. Besides for being so diverse, they're going to be part of the S&P 500, which leads me to my second group of people, not just the retail investors, but the institutional investors and a different type of retail investor. Some retail investors only invest in SPY, for example, the S&P 500. Some institutional investors also only like index funds. Well, now Palantir is going to be part of the S&P 500, and now this cheaper, easier money to come by is going to be invested into index funds, and Palantir will benefit from those index funds. So Palantir is going to be on a double, triple whammy. Retail investors, the degens like us, me, you know, the communities that don't invest in boring stocks and see things before Wall Street sees it, and people make fun of us, and then they can't make fun of us. So us crowd. Then you're going to have the boring investors that invest only in index funds, the people that are 92 years old and up. And their money is now going to be going to Palantir, whether they like it or not. And then you have the institutional pension funds, the 401k, so on and so forth, that will also now have exposure to Palantir, and Palantir will be making money from that. This entire time, Palantir is doing what they're doing, and they are growing in all of these different sectors, and they're going to keep expanding. Hopefully, their revenue is going to be above 30% at some point in time in 2024. Until that happens, Palantir needs to justify its growth. Currently trading at around $18 and change, Palantir is fairly valued for what we have right now, frontline and center. However, if Palantir can justify revenue growth of 30%, 25% even, well, then Palantir's price should go up and we should be able to maintain, sustain, and exceed $20 a share, maybe going into $25, $30 and beyond in 2024. At the end of the day, we really don't know what's good and what's not good. We just know that we are one of the leaders in artificial intelligence, and we keep increasing partnerships and increasing offerings for sectors, subsectors, industries, and sub-industries. By doing this, we are increasing our total addressable market. Take a look at the screen. This is currently the price of Palantir. I just want to show you some charts. This is the MACD right here. This is the relative strength index, and this is the Bollinger Bands right here. This is for a 30-day trading pattern. These are the Bollinger Bands, and Bollinger Bands essentially give you two standard deviations up and down. Right now, Palantir bounced off the bottom over here, which means that it has room to grow on the upside. Also, the RSI. The RSI right now is right around that 50 level, just under 50 level. This is good. That means that there is room to grow, and the RSI is about to surpass or overtake the RSI moving average. This is also positive. And right here, as you can see on the MACD, you have this blue line right here. You want the blue line to surpass and overtake the orange line at the end of the day. And you want both the orange line and the blue line to be above the neutral line, which is 0, 0. And as you can see, it started to go around. It's about to overtake it. So technically, this is pretty solid. If you look at Jesse's chart, he says that, we could be hitting in the next couple of months. As a matter of fact, just sit back, relax, and I'll show you Jesse's chart in just a moment. All right. But first, I want to show you a couple of partnerships. This is all in 1 week. Palantir renews digital transformation partnership with UniCredit for another 5 years. Back in 2018, they made a partnership with UniCredit. This is a bank in Italy. They have over 850 billion euro in revenue on the assets under management, and over 20 billion euro in revenue a year. This is an absolutely massive, massive bank in Italy. So you have finance sector. Then you have this right here. This is called HISA. I never heard of them before, but HISA is Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority. So they went from finance to this agency or this platform that nobody even knows about. And HISA and Palantir are developing an AI-enabled tool to help identify horses at increased risk of injury before they race. So we went from finance, we went to healthcare for horses, and now we're going to environmental, recycling. There's a company called Plas Credit, which is plastic credit, I guess it stands for. Stock enhances long-term value with Palantir partnership, right? Plas Credit Circular Innovations, a specialist in plastic waste upcycling, has signed a partnership agreement with Palantir Global, a provider of artificial intelligence software. The company will beta test Palantir's proven Foundry operating system and artificial intelligence platform. Plas Credit Circular Innovations is focused on rebalancing future of plastic through its plastic waste recycling technology. Guys, at the end of the day, we went from finance, then we went to healthcare for horses, now we went to recycling, and then after this, I'm reading from Lord Grimm. Shout out to Lord Grimm. This guy has the most dopest updates, helps me all the time, at Lord_Heragrim. Definitely check him out. Palantir Bedfordshire police use AI to save hours on admin duties. AI is used to redact personal data from case files before they go to the Crown Prosecution Services. Detectives found it performed the task in minutes, whereas traditional methods could take them days. And this is the entire article right here. I just want to read this right here. Okay. Some of them like to download data from seized mobile phones, contain hundreds of pages, which could take a day or two for us to go through. This new system did it in around 15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes. Palantir did in 15 minutes what it took them days to do. Officers always review the results to make sure they are accurate, but it still takes up to 90% less time. So even auditing Palantir's system, it still saves them 90% of time. That's absolutely freaking massive. So we had finance, then we had horses, then we have this plastic recycling, then we had law enforcement, and now it was revealed, we know that Palantir was working with Ukraine for a while, but we didn't know how much money they actually made from Ukraine. And this is going to lead me into my next segment of the video, so don't go anywhere. But it turns out that Palantir, at the end of the day, made around $1 million with Ukraine. How do you know this? Well, so shout out to Deep Value. You guys have to check this guy out as too. He's just as valuable as Lord Grimm. These guys are champions of the communities and they don't get enough credit. They put out these amazing, amazing finds. So there's a Bloomberg article. Palantir has earned just north of $1 million from the United States Defense Department for its work in Ukraine and donated the rest of its services. And this is the actual article. It's from Yahoo Finance, and they actually, printed the entire Bloomberg article, but that's essentially what it all, takes. Here it says it right here. So they're basically making a comment that as the war drags out, tech providers haven't seen their initial outreach in Ukraine evolve into contracts. And it's not just Palantir, and then they use Palantir as one of the examples. And I think this is absolute poppy wash and absolute bullshit because let me tell you something. And stick around because I'm going to show you the chart of Jesse in just a moment, who's absolutely killing it, bro. I think he's like 2 million up in the last 2 weeks. So Palantir started £1 with England, right? With the UK. Now they have this NHS contract. They already made about $100 million from England, from the NHS. They made another $100 million contract with the British military. And now you see they're working with the police force of a town. And this all started from £1 contract, right? During COVID. $1 contract with the United States for COVID under Trump. Shout out to Trump, Operation Warp Speed. Can't wait until this guy is back. That $1 contract turned into hundreds of millions of dollars with the NIH and other health departments' health services. So this $1 million contract that they were able to extract this $1 million from the United States, actually, not from Ukraine, is going to lead to massive, massive revenue in the future. Because they're not going from $1, they're going from 1 million up. I believe Ukraine is probably going to bring in $500 million minimum in the future of total revenue. Not profit maybe, but total revenue to Palantir in the future. Remember, they're named as a reconstruction partner by the actual Ukrainian ministry. This is not me saying it or Ahmed or Arnie or Tom. Shout out to all of them. This is literally Ukraine saying this. So yeah, we start small and then we expand. Let me show you Jesse's chart. Guys, the very first thing I want you to do is follow Jesse at micro to macro 0. This guy absolutely slaughtered the market. I just want to mind you that earlier this year, he made a cool $500,000 trading Palantir through options. He made that $500,000, guys, in like a month. I kid you not. I was just started following the guy, and I wish that I made a play sooner. I learned so much from this guy. Definitely follow him, and don't just blindly follow, but use whatever he's showing and mold it to your own techniques. Make it part of your arsenal. Don't just blindly follow anybody, myself included. I hope you don't follow me at all. Make your own decisions and due diligence. Jesse is a master of the charts. He's one of the few people that actually makes money in long options. You know I love short options, but he makes it in long options, which is rare. Palantir is bouncing off of the support level 1. My next targets are the last 52-week high, number 2, and the next Fibonacci extension, number 3. I believe these can both hit in the next 3 months. He's talking about this right here. He does all of this beautiful technical analysis right here. And all you need to see is this is right here where we are right now, right around that $17 range over here. This is going to be number 2. And number 2 brings us right around that $21 range or so. And then number 3 is going to take us all the way up to right around that $29 range. Palantir is super bullish, and Palantir has a lot of room to grow next year. I don't know where Palantir starts or ends, but I could definitely see Palantir $25 to $30 in 2024, maybe more. Remember, it already ran up like crazy. It literally went from $6 all the way up to $21.50, and now it retreated right around this $18 mark. For me personally, I keep selling covered calls, keep selling cash secured puts, making my money every single week, and adding to my shares. What you guys do is your own personal technique. Guys, Palantir is an absolute beast. A lot of people missed the boat. A lot of people are crying, and a lot of people are going to try to clown and make fun of your investment. Not just Palantir, but all of your investments. But specifically for Palantir right now, and the reason is they are just jealous. At this particular point in time, right now, anybody that's making fun of your Palantir investment is jealous. They are jealous folk. That's it. Before, yeah, maybe they try to clown on you and Palantir took a massive dump, a massive drop, but right now it's Palantir's game to lose. As long as the conversion from AIP boot camps actually is meaningful and we could sign up a lot of these clients, which it seems like that's what's going to happen, that is the path forward, then we're going to have massive growth in 2024. We also have the S&P 500 inclusion, which is actually means something, and this is all happening while rates are going to be cut next year. Not to mention a massive $1.5 billion potential Titan deal that's going to be announced in the first quarter of 2024. You know, all of the stars happen to be aligning for Palantir. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys watching my content. If you guys want to support the channel, I have a link down below to channel membership. It's $3 a month and it buys me a cup of coffee, and I do exclusive content for them, one video a week or so. Thank you very much, and everybody have a great week.